Good morning, everyone. Well, after dealing with severe storms and spots over the weekend, unfortunately, the chance for severe weather continues today and tomorrow as well in Nebraska. So let's show you the latest high-resolution model that we have starting at 8 a.m. this morning. No severe storms out there early this morning, just some isolated showers. And notice more dry than seeing rain. Got to mention the chance of rain for everyone. The chance is low. More likely you're going to have a dry morning commute than a wet one. And if you do encounter one of these showers, it'll be light. Shouldn't slow you down for that morning commute. I'll tell you what, there's probably going to be even less activity once we get to lunchtime. Look at noon, just a few stray showers around. Most of us dry, but in the late afternoon, we're going to see some fresh activity pop up and some fresh storms. Now, we are talking during the late afternoon, early evening hours, mainly isolated activity in the western half of the state. The problem is that the storms that do pop up probably going to be on the stronger side. The potential absolutely there for producing hail, damaging wind, because we do see the potential for the storms that do pop up to be supercell storms. So there's 5 o'clock. Notice really the story is going to be more activity to the west than over to the east. Also, we got to talk about high temperatures around 5 o'clock this afternoon. A little bit warmer to the west as well. Notice some places topping out in the low, maybe mid 80s. Looks like mostly across the eastern half of the state, though. Highs mainly in the mid to upper 70s, maybe a couple spots like Beatrice getting into the low 80s as well. So let's jump ahead to 8 o'clock this evening. Notice the activity trying to push east, but struggling, still mainly limited to Kearney and on to the west. And certainly the chance for storms there, and possibly severe storms, though, again, worth noting the gaps that are going to be around. As we go later into the evening, the chance for a severe storm is going to become less likely as our temperatures cool, but I still want to mention an outside chance for a storm and possibly a severe storm at 11 o'clock. And notice how the rain chance picking up for places like Grand Island finally. And really across the eastern half of the state, the chance of rain is really best very late tonight and early tomorrow morning. But here we are at 2 a.m. and by this point, could there still be some weak storms around? Yes, but it's probably mostly showers and the severe threat will be over. So as far as who has a chance of seeing severe storms, late this afternoon through the evening hours, it's an outside chance for Grand Island and Scottsbluff. The best chances for places like Kearney, North Platte, and on up towards the Valentine area. Notice Lincoln, Omaha, Beatrice, Columbus not included in the severe threat for late this afternoon and early this evening. And again, still, as is always the case, what's most likely is just some heavy rain and lightning. But if one of those supercell storms works over you, we're talking about the potential for wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, quarter-size hail, and again, because we're talking about supercell storms, those can produce tornadoes, so can't completely rule out 1 or 2 EF0 or EF1 tornadoes popping up. Can't stop there, though, because the severe threat continues for Tuesday as well. Now, Tuesday morning, 8 a.m., talking largely just scattered showers, but a better chance of rain, it looks like, for Lincoln, Omaha tomorrow morning than this morning. That's where the best chance of rain is going to be in the morning hours, is mainly across the eastern third of the state. More likely you're going to be dry in the central and western part of the state. When we get into the early afternoon, like today, not much going on. Just largely some isolated showers across the northern part of the state. But in the late afternoon, the activity's starting to fire up again. High temperatures tomorrow. Looks a little bit cooler in the western part of the state. Maybe some still reaching the low 80s, but I think mid to upper 70s is most likely. Same story in the eastern part of the state. As far as winds go for tomorrow, a bit of variety. It's actually looking pretty windy over in the Panhandle. But in the central part of the state, we'll just call it breezy, gusts 20-25 miles per hour. There's really not going to be much wind around the Lincoln and Omaha area. And notice I've stopped the model here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because that's when it looks like the fresh storms are going to be popping up. And they're going to fire up around 4 o'clock and then start to drift to the east. And look at those dark shades of red that are starting to show up, particularly around the Grand Island area. 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, and then probably later in the evening, this activity could drift into the Lincoln and Omaha areas. So it does look like the severe threat is going to spread to the east for tomorrow. Notice that now Columbus, Lincoln, Beatrice, you do have an outside chance of seeing severe storms during the evening hours tomorrow. Omaha not included just yet because it looks like the activity will arrive so late that the severe threat will go away. For the late afternoon and early evening hours, where we're most concerned tomorrow is once again North Platte, Kearney, but also Grand Island for tomorrow, and even an outside chance for Scotts Bluff. I do think there's the potential that the storms that pop up tomorrow could be a little bit stronger, and perhaps we could be talking about storms that could produce some golf ball size hail. I'm not going to rule that out, particularly in these shades of yellow. Still a potential for wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour as well, and yes, an outside chance for an EF0 or EF1 tornado tomorrow as well. Of course, still some time for this to change, so look for an update on Tuesday's threat tomorrow morning.